Do you wish that you had an extra assistant to help you with everyday tasks, projects, and more? In this video, I wanted to share something super exciting, which is an AI-driven task and project management app called Dart. With Dart, an AI team member called Dart AI becomes a part of your own workspace, and you can even assign tasks to them or brainstorm projects together. In particular, if you're looking for a Notion alternative, I find that Dart's AI is really integrated into the tool, and the app has a focused approach to project and task management with built-in sprints, time tracking, docs, and everything else you might need. Let's dive right in. To get started, let's go to itsdart.com, and then you can go to the button sign up and then create your account there. You can also go ahead and download Dart for Mac, Windows, Linux, Android, or iOS, depending on how you want to use it and where you'd like to access it. You can also simply access Dart through the browser as well. And once you're inside Dart, so you'll notice that there's home, you'll see your tasks here, an inbox to see what's happened, as well as things like dashboards and reports, and then you can also create your own views. Next, let's go over how to create task lists and how to utilize the spaces. So the first thing you'll want to do is make sure you have the appropriate spaces. So spaces are like categories such as general for your team and personal if you're just doing personal task lists. Let's say that you want to add a new space here called video creation. And then you can choose whether or not you want to add sprints or no sprints. Sprints are basically if you want to manage your tasks on a cadence. It's especially great if you're looking to build product or looking to make improvements over time. Sprints are great. Otherwise, you can just have no sprints. Then there's also reports so that you can generate reports on set repetitions as well as share settings. So once you're happy with that, you can just click out, and then we basically have a space called video creation. Inside of video creation, we have a dartboard, which is basically the same thing as a task list. Then the first thing you'll want to do is start adding tasks to it. So all you have to do is click plus new task. And let's say that you want to brainstorm, and then you can choose if there's a parent, task, tags, who you're assigning it to do, attachments, and you can also add subtasks here already and then create tasks. So it's very easy to use, and then you can even add subtasks inside here. So you can research like this, and then we already have a subtask. If you're done with a task, you can simply go to here and then click done or use one of the keyboard shortcuts. And if you want to generally add a new task, you can also just add a task through here and then choose where it goes. And basically all the tasks that are assigned to you are going to show up in my tasks. Next, let's go over all the views that you can use to see your tasks. So if you go over to the top right hand corner, you can see your task in a list, a board, you can see calendar view and roadmap. I think it's really great that there's these views because I think that these are all of the views that you really need for project and task management. You can also see which kind of properties there are. You can group things as well. So I think this is very flexible and a really nice way to see your tasks. You can also add specific sorts and filters as well. The next thing I wanted to cover is that you can also add docs. So if you go to the plus sign here, instead of creating a dartboard, you can also create a docs. So if I put docs, then inside of docs, I can create a new doc. Let's say that this is outline for a video, and then I can start outlining this video. So in that sense, it's really useful that you can also have your tasks here, but also have a space for your docs. The next thing I wanted to cover is all the ways that AI can act as your teammate inside of Dart. So the first thing I love is that if you go to your settings and you go to teammates, you'll already see Dart AI show up as one of your teammates in here, which I think is really great. What that means is that let's say that I have my brainstorm 10 video ideas task. I can actually just assign this to Dart AI, and then Dart AI is going to start doing things for me already. I can see in my inbox what Dart AI has done. It can change the status as doing. It says that I'll brainstorm 10 engaging video ideas and link them to the provided outline format. So here, if I click this one open like this, then I can see that Dart has actually added a new doc here for me that brainstorms 10 video ideas. You can see all of these things. So I think this is really great that basically I can ask Dart to do a variety of things. If I'm home and let's say that I want to add another one, and then if I just assign this to Dart AI and this is part of video creation task, then I can just create this task and Dart is going to do this for me. So that's the first way that I love using Dart in this case, is that it really acts as your own team member. The other way that you can see Dart in action is basically if you go to tasks, and I can go to project AI, I can brainstorm tasks through here. I can either use AI or just with my teammates, and there's going to be a time limit where new ideas are generated. So this is also really fun because you can also get some additional input from AI as you're working on it. So let's say that I have a new project. If I click start brainstorming, and let's say I set a 5-minute time limit, it's going to start doing some brainstorming here, like draft a script for each brainstormed idea created by Dart. Now it shows me write compelling video titles for each brainstorm idea. And I can even also add my own brainstorming ideas. So as you can see, the brainstorm is finished and you can see how many tasks that we came up with. So I think this is really exciting. If I open one up, then I can even do / here to break that into subtasks. So I can click this one and it's generating subtasks. Then I can also / here and then ask it to write a description for me. And I think this is a really great way to just kickstart a task so that you can start with an outline as opposed to a blank description, a blank subtask. And then after this point, you can decide which ones you want to use, which ones you don't want to use. So the next thing I can do is assign it to someone like this, and then that's it. So it's really simple to use, and I like the way that AI is so integrated into Dart. The next really cool feature I wanted to highlight is if I go to settings, you can see that I can connect it to ChatGPT, Claude, and all these things with AI. You can be inside of ChatGPT. If you have some idea that you want to create a task for, you can just ask that while you're in ChatGPT as opposed to going into Dart. It's a very seamless experience. If I'm in my ChatGPT, you'll see that there's Dart here, and I can go ahead and ask it to add a new task. Then I can just click enter, and now it's basically added a new task for me. So if I go to my task list here, you'll now see it over here already, and it's already assigned to me, and it already even filled in different tags for me as well. So I think this is really cool that you can do this, that you can be in ChatGPT and just simply add tasks through here. So that's another really cool use case for Dart. The final thing that I wanted to do is compare Dart with Notion. So with Dart, I think that one of the biggest strengths is in its integrated AI. So as I mentioned, you can basically add AI as one of the team members, which I think is a really unique way that AI is being used here. In comparison, if you're in Notion and you're using AI, you can either ask AI questions through Ask AI or through this icon here. And if you have a database, you can either use an empty database or build a database with AI. If you just go with an empty database, there's really no way to add AI as someone who's going to actually do the task for you. So I think that's a key difference with Notion's AI versus the way that Dart is being incorporated here. The way that Notion works is that if you open this up, you can add a property, which is an AI summary of this page, custom autofill, translation, or keywords. Keywords is sort of similar to the way that Dart adds tags automatically, but in general, I think that it's a very different experience with the way that AI is incorporated into Notion as opposed to Dart. The other thing is that you can add custom blocks like this where you can add different prompts. I would say that with Dart, it's less about the prompts that you use, but more that it's just an integrated experience where you can simply ask it to add descriptions like this, breaking it into subtasks for you, continuing writing, and all of these things. So it's just a more integrated experience as opposed to the AI in Notion being more of a prompt-based approach, especially with the blocks and with the custom AI properties. So you can add AI custom autofill and add a prompt here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in Dart, who's the sponsor of today's video, be sure to check the link in the description. It's free to get started, and I think this is an amazing tool for those who want an integrated approach to using AI in day-to-day task and project management. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to add them below, and I hope to see you all in the next video.